What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets in a very, very quick update video. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So as far as the market's going, I just want to say that on SPY, we have this possible inverse head and shoulders setup. If we start to break past 643.5, we could start to break out higher. But if 642 fails us, we're going to be at risk of tipping closer to 640. Now, right now, we're pretty much just range bound. The last couple of hours have just been chop, chop, chop for the markets. So you want to be very careful. Even after our data came out, the market was just flat. So there's not really much going on for now. But I mentioned that when you see a lot of chop like this, it's going to hurt premiums. So be careful with trading options. They could lose a lot of value pretty fast. Unless we start breaking support and then we see better volatility, there's not really a whole lot going on for now. But when you zoom out of SPY, you guys could quite clearly see that we are still technically in this range. Now, the overall chart is still bullish. If we do end up getting some kind of pullback move back down towards like 640, that could be a buying opportunity. I think we could eventually try to break to all-time highs and push for like 650 plus. But this may depend on Nvidia's earnings tomorrow after market close and other factors like PCE on Friday. So for now, I just want to say we're very, very choppy. There's not really anything significant going on. So be careful if you're trading options. But the overall setup does have an inverse head and shoulders like pattern, which could favor upside later on. So we're going to see if that ends up panning out or not. For now, we just remain more choppy. Same thing with the QQQ. There's an inverse head and shoulders setup. If we break past 572, we're looking for a bigger move higher. But if we lose 568, we're looking for a dump lower. As of right now, when you zoom in, we're just range bound in the low 570s. So there's not really a whole lot going on. Same thing with the IWM. We're stuck between 235 and 233, just going back and forth. Now we're going to see if this could try to rebound and try to push higher or not. If we lose 232, we're looking for a dump. Otherwise, this is just chopping for the time being. There's not really a whole lot going on. For ES, same thing, inverse head and shoulders like pattern. But when you zoom in, we're pretty much just chopping all over the place, back and forth price action. We're going to see if this could break past 64.80 to push higher for 6,500, or if we lose 64.40 to dump back down. We're just range bound right now. I do think we could try to push a bit higher if we break resistance. Otherwise, we're just kind of choppy. Same thing with NQ. We're just chopping around. This could try to push for 23,550 later on. But I just see, once again, a lot of chop. When you zoom out, this also has kind of like an inverse head and shoulders. So there's potential to go higher. But overall, we're choppy. So be careful for now. Bitcoin's also chopping around. We're stuck between 111,000 and support at this 119,000 area. Back and forth price action for this. Tesla's also chopping around the 345 area. We need to break 350 to be more bullish or lose 338 to be more bearish. Otherwise, it's just choppy. Not really much is going on. Nvidia looks a bit more bullish, favoring 182.5 as a potential target. So that could be trying to push higher. And then Apple's also chopping around, not really doing much. If we end up losing 225, this could be dipping a lot more. But there's not really a whole lot else going on. Same thing with Coinbase. It dumped quite a bit back down to the low 300s as we predicted. Now we could be trying to bounce back up to like 305 or above if we break resistance. For Amazon, we're making higher lows here. We could be looking for essentially 230 as our target. Meta could be favoring essentially 754 as long as we don't end up losing 750. Google has a double bottom here. Could be looking for a temp for 207.5 plus, and eventually it might try to get back up to like 208. But overall, it's very, very slow price action. Microsoft is also very flat here. It's going to be testing the low 500s, and we'll see if it bounces. The VIX came down to fill this gap over here. We're going to see if it bounces or not. For now, it's very, very choppy, and the market's just kind of chopping around. There is some upside potential in SPY, though, looking at the current setup, but there is a lot of chop, so be careful if you're trading options or such. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Have a good rest of your guys' days. For now, the market's going to see a lot of chop, but be careful. Unless we end up losing like 642 on SPY to dip to 640, or if we break past 644 to break out a lot higher. We're just range bound for now until we see a big break, so keep that in mind. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you for listening, and peace out.